Hi, my name's Alan Stagg and I'm here at the fantastic Thorpe Lea Fishery in Egham in Surrey. We're here today to try and catch some nice big carp on 3 different enterprise surface baits. Now, Thorpe Lea Fishery is an excellent fishery, talking a couple of thousand carp in here, so it makes it pretty different to most runs waters. It's a very busy day ticket fishery. We've got loads of anglers here today. We're on a flight path as well. We've got the motorway behind us, so you'll have to excuse the noise. But I reckon we can catch a few big carp today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make a few casts, get a bit of bait out there, get the fish feeding comfortably and see if we can put hook bait in amongst them. I'm going to use a 3-prong attack here to catch these Thorpe Lea carp off the surface. Now, as it comes to hook baits, I'm going to either use the zig rig surface baits that Enterprise do, the mini mixers with the sight tips, and then also the counterbalance mixer as well, which is a really clever idea. Now, the first one I'm going to start with is the zig rig surface baits. Now, not many people use these, but these are an absolutely fantastic product, and I've caught loads of carp off the surface on these, and this is what I'm talking about here. Now, what I really like about these is they're quite small. They've got a really soft texture that I think gives it a big edge over sort of other surface baits. These come in several different colours. This one's the typical sort of chum mixer zig rig surface bait, which is this one here. Nice sort of colour, blends in well with the feed that I'm feeding out there today. Now also, they do some different coloured ones as well. So if you're having problems seeing sort of the hook bait at range, then something like the yellow or the luminous one is a fantastic colour to use. Okay, now the way I present these zig rig surface baits, you can either side hook them that I've caught loads of fish using, or one of my favourite methods to use if they're kind of getting a little bit cute or wary is to use a hair rig. Now I've got a really short hair coming off of the back of the hook there, just off the shank, nice and tight. Now I'm trying not to keep any separation from almost the hook and the hair. I want it nice and tight, so when they slurp that in, then the good chances you're going to hook them. Now, rig wise, I've got 10-pound zig link on here. Nice sort of abrasive line that there's quite a bit of weed out there, so I know that I'm going to get them in. And then on the hook end, I've got a size 12 mugger. The reason I use these hooks is they're super strong. Although they're a size 12, I've caught loads of fish on these in demanding situations. And the reason I like them is they've got a nice aggressive curve in there. So when the fish sucks that zig rig surface bait in, it can flip round and you're going to hook them up. Now, these sit absolutely fantastic in the water, these zig rig surface baits, and they're definitely worth a try. Okay, now the second hook bait I'm going to use on Thorpe Lea today is these mini mixers. These are a fantastic little product. They're very lifelike. And what's great with these is they come with some free sight stops that are in the pack. Now there are a couple of different colours. We've got a pink there that I quite favour, and this helps you pick your hook bait out in amongst the freebies. Now I can see this probably 30-35 yards range on a nice calm day like we've got today, and it certainly helps with those finicky fish. Right, now I thought I'd leave the best presentation to last, and that's these imitation dog biscuits with a counterbalance weight. Now these are an absolutely fantastic idea from Chris at Enterprise, and basically what it is I've got a chum mixer there that I've mounted on a hair, and I've just passed the hook back through the mixer like that, so it can't actually come off in any way. So if a fish kind of goes for a wee bed or anything like that, then I'm going to still keep the hook bait. Now the fantastic bit about these is the counterbalance shot. Now what this actually does is this is just nicked on the bottom of the hair and then pushed into the bait. And what it actually does is it counterbalances the hook, so the hook sits proud of the water. So if you've got a sort of line shy or hook shy fish, then they can't actually find the hook at all. So it's a fantastic little product, this. Now they also come supplied with bits of foam that actually go through the middle of them, and a nice little edge is what I've got here. Is always keep a tub, a small pot of, say, like beetle in or anything like that. Sweeteners are quite good, and I always keep them flavoured in these, just to give that hook bait some added attraction, and it helps the fish pick the hook bait out from in amongst the freebies. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you how to tie one up so you can make sure you get it right. Right, now I'm just going to show you how to rig up one of these counterbalance mixers. Now all I've done is simply threaded it onto a fairly long hair, and I've put the foam insert into the middle. Now this one's soaked in beetling, as I spoke about earlier, and then all I've done is I've got a fairly large hair loop on the back there of the hook. Now that's quite important, so I can get the counterbalance shot on there nice and easily. So I've just put it on like so, and I'm just going to squeeze it on, and then it's a simple case now of just pulling that counterbalance shot into the mixer like so. And then all we need to do now is just simply turn the hook back around on itself, and then just nick it through the length of the mixer, through the side like that. Just thread it round, and now I like to position these just on the back of the shank like so. Now that will sit absolutely perfect, just like that, and perfect for those wary surface feeding carp. Right, as you can see, I've bought plenty of bait for today's session. These are floating dog biscuits. They're not the pedigree chum kind of style, but these are just a standard sort of generic version. They're not expensive. You're looking at like £7 for a 9 kilo sack. Now the importance of surface fishing, and especially on these hungry waters, is to feed and feed all the time. Bring plenty of fish into the swim, get them feeding competitively, and then they'll take your hook bait without caution. Now one thing I like to do is have plenty of oil, stuff like sunflower oil, salmon oil, anything that's going to create like a haze on the surface, flatten off any ripple that you've got, and the fish absolutely love it. So I always pour on sort of plenty of oil, give it a good stir up in the bucket, make sure they're all sort of covered on all sides, let it absorb in, and then start spodding it out, and the fish go absolutely crazy on it. Now on these heavily stocked fisheries like we are at Thorpe Lea today, I'm trying to create as much sound. Now these fish recognise the sound of one of these going in, a spod or a spom. They come to the sound of the noise. It's almost like a dinner bell. So what I'm trying to do is, rather than conventionally spodding, sort of trying to keep it as quiet as possible, I'm actually looking to arrow this into the water to create a big splash, a big sound to the fish. And what they do is it attracts more fish into the swim. They come and take these floaters, get them competing, and then hopefully we'll get a bite. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cast this out, arrow it in, and get some feed out in the swim. Just got the fish confidently feeding. It took a little while to get them going again, but sort of been patient, kept the feed going out there, and this one's just come right up next to control the float. Just took a couple of freebies and then slept down that Enterprise Sig Rig floater. It's a great way of fishing on here, rather than sat behind a barrage of rods, and you can actually get something going. All the fish obviously in this heat are mid layers or on the top. Okay, well we've just had a few refusals, I've noticed, where the fish have just boiled at the floater and not really taken it that confidently. So they're certainly starting to mop up the freebies, but something just wasn't quite right. So sometimes you have to tinker about a little bit when you're floater fishing just to find that winning combination. So I took off the zig rig surface baits that I've been doing so well on recently and just put on one of the mini mixers. And first cast on it, just drew it over the back of some fish and it pretty much went straight away. A lovely confident take as well. So hopefully we found a winning combination. Right, well here's another lovely Thorpe Lea carp. This one fell again to the mixer with a sight tip on, the mini mixers. They've been working really well today, so 2 on those, 1 on the zig rig surface baits. And what I'm going to do is just make a change of the rig and we're going to put on the counterbalance mixer just so the hook sits out of the water, and I'm pretty confident we can snare a few on that. So I'm just going to slip this one back, get some more feed out there, change the rig, and I'm sure we'll be back shortly. Right, well here we are, we've just swapped over to the larger mixer with a counterbalance weight in it, and got the fish going again, got them feeding, made a quick cast over the back, and one slept it down straight away, line tighten up, and we've just got another one on. So they work really well, those larger mixers with a counterbalance weight, because the way you rig them up is a shot at the end of the bait which counterbalances the mixer, so it actually flips it over so the hook is actually proud of the water, so the fish find it very difficult to single it out. It's a real big edge. This is a nice Thorpe Lea carp that we caught on those, caught on the large imitation mixer with a counterbalance weight. Literally took a few seconds, recast, straight over the back of some fish, just gently drew the controller back and this one slept it down without hesitation. Hooked lovely in the corner of the mouth, and that counterbalance weight doing its job perfectly. So just going to slip this one back and see if we can get amongst a few more. Well, here's another Thorpe Lea carp that fell to the imitation mixers from Enterprise Tackle. We've had an absolutely fantastic day. We caught loads of carp, had great fun. So we're going to sign off on this one.